Welcome, everybody, to the number one sports news podcast on Good Pods with my co-host, Charles.
Number one. What's up, Patrick? How are we
Number
today?
one. Feeling like a number one podcast. I don't know
feeling,
about you.
I'm feeling like a number one podcast who hit over 10,000 views recently, right? 10,000 listens?
10,000 views on our video that we posted before we got banned. And we haven't been able to post anything on YouTube since. So thanks, YouTube.
What? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, we're getting views all out the wazoo. The random ass gaming clips. They've hit almost 15,000 views in 3 days. That's stupid. I'm like, I got to send these to Pat first so we could start putting random boys in the woods, fucking Where's Waldo stickers in the video clip.
Oh, there you go.
Big weekend and what's that?
So you need to put them on your Twitch.
Yeah. I forget I have that fucking thing too. I just throw that bitch out in the moon, man. I don't know. But anywho, big weekend football. Congratulations to us too. Before we jump into this football thing, that's fucking cool.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And now to all of our wonderful listeners out there, our week ban was, our ban on YouTube was a week. So that should be gone soon, Wednesday-ish.
Thursday, maybe.
But to all of our listeners out there, all of our followers worldwide also, we see you, we hear you, we read your comments. And I still think Hunt's ketchup is better than Heinz. I don't know. I might be the only one at this point. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't be the only one. We can't be the only one here.
I purchased it and I showed you the other day.
So that's what we've got rambling on. NFL or NCAA. Let's start with the NFL. We got a lot to talk about in the NFL. We got a lot to talk about in the NCAA. We got a lot to talk about this week. Holy moly. We were laughing about that schedule. That's going to be fun. But yeah, we'll jump right in. Let's go NFL week 2 scores. The Vikings Eagles. We had that on Thursday night, another boner of a Thursday night game. The score isn't going to tell you that, 34-28. But at this point, when do we get a good Thursday night matchup?
Probably next week when the Packers play.
Yeah.
The week after next, I suppose that's what it is. That was a good matchup. It wasn't terrible. It was Minnesota.
The first half of the game was shit, man. Really.
Well, Kirk Cousins though. What's what you get?
Yeah. And when is Jalen Hurts going to start actually? He is yet to throw for over 200 yards. Is this actually who Jalen Hurts is?
I don't know. I seriously don't know. Yeah, I think is it because you're playing fantasy that you have these high expectations that he's going to throw for 300 yards and be the league leader?
I don't want 300 yards. Ain't nobody catching Kirky boy. He's over 700 yards in the league now. Thursday we'll go over the league leaders because we've got Monday night left, so there ain't no point in throwing them stats out yet. But Kenny fucking Pickett ain't catching Kirk Cousins right now at over 700 yards. But I don't know. I might agree with you, to be honest with you. Maybe because I didn't watch the Philadelphia Eagles that much last year. I'm watching them a little more now, thanks to fantasy football. Everybody tends to do that when you play fantasy football.
It could possibly also be too that they won so many games. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They just trying to not like blow their wad on early in the season. They're trying to stretch this out, let their defense play a little bit. But it's been sketchy. The first 2 games have been sketchy.
At best. They've had up until Thursday, they had no run. Okay. You know what? It is week 2. I'm so excited about football that I feel like that we're in week 10 right now, and it is just week 2. So we'll slow down on the sirens, sires. Slow down on the fucking sirens, bro. It's week 2. All right. Packers Falcons 24-25. Missed opportunities. Fire Joe Barry. Missed opportunities. Many missed opportunities. Fire Joe Barry. Many missed opportunities.
We went from I don't think you're going to get a lot of people to jump on the bandwagon until what week do you think that they'll fire Joe Barry?
All right. There's a low rumble right now via X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
And there's less than 1,000 posts on Facebook, #FireBarry. So now that's trending upward. right? Because if there was no existence of it, it wouldn't say fewer than 1,000 posts. It would just be by itself. So it's
Yeah.
getting close to 1,000 plus. I'm thinking by the end of the week, hashtag fire Barry is going to be at least a couple more because I'm on day 2 of that fucking hashtag fire Joe Barry. But I
You
agree
can't
with
get
you.
any
I don't know,
worse.
week 4, week 5, maybe week 5,
It's
week
gotta
6.
they have to lose a few more games because of their defense. And here's the thing, Rashawn Gary came out and called out the rookies. He called out the rookies, the young guys.
Yeah. And Jair Alexander dropping that easy pick 6, getting manhandled by Drake London. I don't understand what was going on in that scenario. At what fucking point does Joe Barry look at that and go, all right, my dude's too small? He's just too small this game. Is Jair Alexander too small? No, he's fucking done that 100 times. He's shown you. He beat the Frank out of Justin Jefferson. Something was going on that this week. I can't jump off the Jair
I
Alexander
I can
boat,
tell
but
you
oh my God, dude.
from what I was reading, a lot of people don't understand because Kurt Benkert said that you got to understand they had 3 guys in man that were covering Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a fucking monster.
Right,
And he takes 3 guys to cover him because he's a freaking tight end, but he's a freak athlete. So there
right.
was 3 guys over there, and Jair, what exactly what you said. He should have been better, but he was left on an island versus Drake London, and he's a rookie. Whatever, give London all the credit in the world. He
I
he
can't
he
not give
outplayed him.
London
He
credit.
outplayed him. Yeah,
London outplayed him
yeah.
bad. And
Outside
I
of the
don't,
one play that he didn't make, he's like you
outside of
said.
the one, which honestly would have changed the whole fucking game. When your defense scores a touchdown, your statistics, your fucking projections to win that game jump out of the fucking scenario. We had 3 interception drops. We had 3
Right.
drops and one random ass catch. It was just played so fucking bad. What?
This
Why would
was
you turn off?
This is the one stat though that I was trying to explain to you that everybody's jumping on the defense and everything. The fact that the Packers had 3 drives after they took that 24 to
Yes,
12 lead and they got 7 fucking yards in 3 drives.
bro.
7.
It felt like a Mike McCarthy offense again. It did.
Yeah.
It felt like looking at the pass. And I don't want to put too much on the defense, but going into this season with Jordan Love, if Jordan Love gets you 3 fucking touchdowns, no interceptions, and you have 24 fucking points on the board, the Green Bay Packers should win that game.
Yeah,
Our
but
defense is way better than what the fuck went out there.
did you
And
look at the time of possession though? Those guys were gassed. The defense was gassed.
I
Absolutely
understand that,
fucking.
dude, and I do. And again,
They're not a deep football team. They don't have good
my
players on the bench.
my
No.
argument with this is Joe Barry's wait for a player to make a fucking play
He's
defense,
always been this way. Even when he was with the
which is,
Lions. This is what
I
he's
know,
always been.
and this is my fucking point. I am seeing the same fucking thing from Joe Barry that I saw last year and the year before. There is no
Every year
difference.
before it. Yeah.
That's my
No.
point. I don't even want to talk about the offense because I don't want to take away from the fact that I am seeing the same fucking thing I saw year after year with Joe Barry. Hashtag fire Joe Barry's defense.
And guess what? The frustration is going to continue as well because he is a very loved man by the front office.
I
Why?
don't
I have no
understand why.
idea. I don't
I don't
know. But
understand why. Unless that dude's giving Rolexes on Christmas. Is that dude
foot,
giving out Rolexes on Christmas? Is he
foot,
keeping his job because he gives
foot
really good
massages?
Christmas gifts? Foot
Foot
massages.
massages.
Foot massages and Rolexes is the only way
There
that
you
you're
go.
getting
Foot
me to.
massages and roll. We called it. Take it to the
Oh
bank.
my God, dude. It just makes no sense. Colts 31, Texans 20. We could go on for another hour. I'm just going to continue to talk about fire Joe Barry.
Right. Indianapolis needs to find a way to protect their asset. And their
Oh my
asset is
God,
Anthony
dude.
Richardson. You cannot let this poor kid
talked
go
about
out
this.
there and beat the hell out of himself.
This is what
don't
I
get
was
it.
afraid of. This is why I lost it on our draft party at our Facebook Live draft event. And people thought that I was dogging Richardson. No, that boy is talent in a bottle, and I don't know how anybody put a fucking top on it.
Oh,
But then they sent it off to the kid had to go into the NFL.
Yeah.
he would have gotten hurt in college. His play style, the odds, yada, 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 yada. He's going to learn
Yeah.
more in the NFL. I get that. I didn't want him going to the Colts. That was it, because the Colts were going to ruin him. It's like the Los Angeles Angels and Shohei Ohtani, or the Kentucky Derby and every damn racehorse that dies in horse racing, right? These are just organizations that utilize their tools without taking care of them. They don't clean them after use. They don't sheath them at all. They expect their weapons to self-maintain. Now, hopefully Anthony Richardson can self-maintain, but you ain't self-maintaining with that offensive line, and you ain't self-maintaining having designed quarterback run as your second fucking option this entire season.
But where do you think their offensive line was ranked last year in the NFL?
17th,
10th.
10th.
Yeah. They were just behind the Packers and the Chargers, which is weird to me. But it's that's not what it is, though. It's the way he runs. It's partly his fault.
I was going to say,
Not that it's not that he's
maybe
getting sacked.
his mobility is causing him. Yeah, because, oh God, talk about sacks. We'll get to that game too. I think Justin Fields has been sacked over 100 times in his career already.
Correct, but he's not even close to being on pace for the guy. So there's some other rookie that was Stroud was sacked. He's sacked 11 times this year in 2 games. even Fields hasn't been sacked that many times in his first 2 games.
Oh my God.
I think it took Fields 4 games to get sacked that many times.
Stroud, Carolina Panthers, right?
Yeah, dude, he's on pace to get sacked like 77
This
times.
is what I was talking about with Christian
77.
McCaffrey too. Bro, this is what I was talking about with Christian McCaffrey. He ain't going to be hit how he was getting hit in Carolina.
He was limping off the field yesterday.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's him. We'll talk about that later.
He's him. He's him until he rolls his ankle or tears his ACL. No. I love the guy. To me, he's one of the most fun players to watch in the NFL. 100%. When he's healthy. It's always when he's healthy.
I agree. I am excited for what the Texans have rolling, but I don't want to talk too much about the Texans. I love what D'Amico Ryan's doing there. He's got to rebuild a culture. He's literally, he's got to go to the hardware store to buy the tools. He's not even ready to pour that foundation yet. So,
right. Buffalo's back, baby.
Buffalo goes as Josh Allen flows. All right. If Josh Allen throws more than 2 interceptions, Buffalo loses.
Right. Well, I think it was a confidence thing. He doesn't play well versus the Jets. Like the Jets are his bugaboo. I don't know what it is, but he plays absolutely
just like the Patriots. It's just like Bill Belichick versus Tua Tagovailoa. Are you kidding me? Do you realize that of all the great things that Bill Belichick has accomplished with Tom Brady, it's going to come down in the end to more people talk about the fact that Tua Tagovailoa might be in what could be Bill Belichick's last season if he doesn't make it to the playoffs. 6-0 versus Bill Belichick. Are you kidding me? He is 5-0 versus Billy right now.
So he's never lost since he's been a starting quarterback.
He has not lost to the Patriots. Miami. He is not lost in this. He is 5-0. So that's
granted, he never got to face the Brady teams though.
So that's why in the beginning I was like, all the great things Bill Belichick accomplished with Tom Brady.
Exactly. Tom Brady. Hashtag Tom Brady.
Hashtag Tom Brady. Hashtag Michigan. Hashtag Go Blue.
Man, we can skip. I guess we can skip the Bengals Ravens game because the Ravens are a team that they're going to be scary when they figure it out. When they figure it out, I have no idea. Lamar Jackson, he's healthy for once. Like the problem with this team is it's defense. It's like the old Baltimore teams. Like they're not whipping it down the field.
Yeah.
It's short ball like the Bears used to play back in the day. It's 10, 15 yards is like a post route. That's like the most they'll wing it down there. It's not.
Does the offensive coordinator trust Lamar Jackson, or has Lamar Jackson showed enough in camp to force the offensive coordinator to keep it in this realm? Because I'm going to tell you what's happening. Because that's a great fucking point out by you too. Because if we're seeing it now, by week 6 or week 7, those short and intermediate passes are going to be taken away.
Yeah,
And
they're
we're
gonna
gonna
start
find
crowding the
out.
line.
We're gonna find out exactly if Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. I think he
Yeah.
can. I th-
Oh, I'm sure you can.
I don't think. I mean, watching him in Louisville, look what the son of a bitch did in Louisville. Right?
Right.
What has that football team done before him? What did he do? What have they done after him? And we could Google something, and yeah, I'm sure some shit came from Louisville, right? But you're talking to people in their 30s and 40s, and all of our listeners out there from the ages of hopefully above 10 and beyond 70. But my point is that Louisville is Lamar Jackson. That's what you're going to remember. So the dude has the sauce, right? We're just going to see how much of it's in the bottle.
All right, we'll run through the next 3 we'll run through real quick because there's not a whole lot to go on. The Lions lose again to the Seahawks. Um,
Sorry, I
I
coughed.
mean, I think the funniest thing about it is the post game with
I,
the fucking blue ski masks on. That was hey, if you're gonna put yourself in the situation where they're gonna be able to bring this back and pull one on you, you put yourself
I
there.
said it.
You
I
put
said it.
yourself there.
What the fuck was with the blue ski masks or anything, man? Fuck. You
Dude, they
could have.
pulled that out. Yeah.
Fuck.
They were just trying to get some hype
I would
going
like
for
to know the over
the game.
under on Detroit shops robbed by people in blue ski masks between that fucking game and tomorrow morning. I would love to know those statistics.
Hopefully 0, but we know it's not
It
0.
ain't zero for one.
We
It's
know it's
Detroit.
not 0.
Fuck, they probably robbed bitches in a ski mask and a Gardner Johnson jersey. I
'Cause
promise
dude,
you.
because they sold out of
Detroit.
them on Amazon. That's hard to do, man, to sell out of an item on Amazon when they I just don't even understand how you could do it. It just blows my mind. But yes, we'll just skip over that one now because there's not much you can say about it.
Arguably, though, the Seahawks, for some reason, do have Detroit's number. They're 3-0 against Detroit in their last three fucking meetings. So, yeah,
There's only one thing I got to say about the next game. The Titans beat the Chargers. Chargers are 0-2. Is Staley gone? Is this it for him? Like he can't figure this fucking team out. This is not a bad football team.
this is a
Like
really
the
good football
Chargers, it's
team
a
that
good
just
football
doesn't want
team.
to. Okay. And now, to begin with, it was like injuries. I get it, man. The dude had nothing. But at what point do we recognize that injuries are a part of the NFL? And as a
Every
head
time.
coach, your job is exactly like Matt LaFleur said. Your job is to make sure the next man up is ready to play.
Right, they're not that banged up. They're not any more banged up than any other team in the NFL. Hell, the fucking Packers had 6 starters out last week, and they still almost won the fucking game. No,
Yes.
you can't make excuses
If
at
it
this.
wasn't for hashtag fire Joe Barry, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, and then obviously the Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield dropping a 30 dime. He dropped a 3 hundo down there in freaking Tampa Bay. He
Again,
absolutely
though,
one-handedly beat the fucking Bears. It's the Bears.
it's the
That's why
Bears.
let's just skip over that one.
There's
I
even a
bet.
comment on our Facebook chatter where I was like, "Holy fuck, the Bears were so bad they
We
blinded
Charles,
me."
we had fucking
Oh my
Packer
god.
Kool-Aid. Packer Kool-Aid was fucking flowing
Oh
after
my
that.
god. Yeah, yeah. I woke
Joe
up and pissed Packer
Yep.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Joe Barry tried to
you and
fucking
I
take that
drank
away
that
from
Joe
me.
Barry
Hashtag fire Joe Barry.
fucking Kool-Aid. Probably the most underwhelming football game that I think that I got a chance to take a few peeps at was the Chiefs Jaguars. That was a boring football game. Did you know there was 4 fucking straight turnover possessions in that game? Yeah,
It's just
it was like
so bad.
fumble, fumble,
When are
fumble
they
every.
gonna reel the leash in on Tony, bro? Even at one point, the commentators are like, "Man, when you thought Tony had it figured out, boop,
What do
fucking
you
fumbles the ball."
What do you think what did he have yesterday? I don't even know who's got him.
I don't.
He had 1 carry for 3 yards, and he had 5 catches for 35 yards plus a fumble. But yeah, yeah.
It's
He's a
like the
rookie,
reigning rush leader
yeah,
finishing the game with -2 or -9 rushing yards.
yeah.
The Buffalo Bills defense ain't no shit. As long as Josh Allen doesn't throw 4 interceptions and
So
fumble the ball 5 times, they
do you
should be
wanna talk
fine.
do you wanna talk about the conspiracy about the Niners game? The Niners, they were up 30-20 with, I don't know, like a minute to go, and the Rams, instead of going for the touchdown, he decides to kick a field goal to fucking cover the spread. And everybody's in that situation, you go for the touchdown. You always go for the touchdown. You don't kick the field goal.
Did they go for the onside kick after the field goal?
I don't even remember. But it
That's
was like I think it was at the end of the game. So it made no sense. Like you could have just knelt on it. I think they might have kicked it as but anyway, it's a
yeah.
conspiracy thing that they're saying, "Oh, that he did it because he had money on the line on the game." I'm like, "Ugh, it does seem fishy." But anyway, yep, Niners, obviously, they're the Niners, but Stafford is back to old Matthew Staffy, so good
Yeah,
for
he's not
him.
hurt. Matthew Stafford has been a really good quarterback. You
He was
can't win a
hurt
Super
last
Bowl.
year. Yeah, he was hurt last year,
I've got the 49ers as my number 1 team in
right?
the NFL.
And
So,
talk about the Cardinals pissing away a what 20 some point lead. It was 20 to nothing at halftime. The Giants had their biggest comeback ever.
yeah.
And talk about wanting the number 1 overall pick. We
Yeah.
talked about this. They're just trying to they were like, "Shit, we're up by 20. We gotta fucking find a way to blow this game."
We gotta find a way. Just have Kyler Murray throw the ball. He'll
Right?
take care of it for
Oh
us.
my god.
Yeah, I gotta apologize to the Washington Commanders as well. What they're doing in that scenario, what the coaching staff is doing, what that team is doing. Hell, well done. I had you in a battle for my number 1 pick, and I was way
Yeah.
wrong. I was way wrong on that one. You still might end up with the top 5 pick, but it's not gonna be the number 1 pick. So
There's only two games that really bothered me a lot, and it was the Cowboys-Jets game and then the Dolphins-Patriots game. The Pa that w the Patriots game was an entertaining football game. The
yeah.
Cowboys game was an absolute shit fest. There was not a whole lot going on, and I'm sorry, Dallas fans. Charles and I were gonna talk about this earlier. You guys drink that Kool-Aid all you want, but just remember this happens every fucking year with Dallas.
Yeah,
Every
let's okay. So let's see who they've played so far. Okay. The Giants, who it took them 6 fucking quarters to even get a point. 1 point. I think that
right.
hasn't happened since 1968 or some
And an
shit like that.
absolutely reeling Jets team that has
Jets team.
no identity whatsoever.
And the defense scored points again, I believe. So, again, that's wildly outlandish. I, Mike McCarthy is a good offensive coach, though. We've seen it. We won a Super Bowl with him. The dude isn't. He made some really shitty coaching decisions when he was anti-analytic and
Right.
took a year off and studied analytics and came back, and this is the coach you get. But the best part about this is it's the fucking Dallas Cowboys. I don't I don't know. Just let's talk about it again week 8. We're going to talk about it every week, but it's the Dallas fucking Cowboys here, people. Like,
6 weeks. We'll give him 6 weeks. All
we'll
right.
give them 6 weeks. It's only a matter of time before Jerry Jones does something crazy
Yeah.
or Dak Prescott starts being Dak.
Yeah. We had a fantastic finish to the Commanders Broncos game where they ended up going for 2. And then there was that not
The Hail
penalty,
Mary,
the Hail
yeah, and
Mary with the
completion.
4 tips. Two.
And then you fuck off on the I don't know, man. I'm sitting here thinking Sean Payton wants Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I think if Sean Payton gets Caleb Williams,
I
you
have
know,
figured out, at least I have figured out who my 2 fantasy running backs are now. I've got Mostert
I got to figure.
and
Yeah,
freaking, yeah.
the
I left
take Boy.
I left 30 points on the bench in my backup running back that I should have started.
Yeah, I got to
So
trade you for
there's
him.
that. That's trade for him. I should just leave him out there as
I'll,
trade bait
I will.
because
I'll give
you
you
know
Odell
damn well
Beckham.
Swift's getting hurt, Charles. I'm just saying it. I had him on there because he's going to give you 3 or 4 good games before he gets knocked.
25% of ESPN fantasy leagues had that dude rostered, and you were in that.
I
You
picked him
were
up
in
late.
that.
Yeah, I picked him up
Yeah.
late. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess we can jump on to college football now. There's some.
And then to round it out tonight, you've got the Saints Panthers starting at 6:15 and then or 7:15, I think. These are probably Central Time. Remember, we are in Wisconsin, so everything you hear from us is more or less Central Time. If you are an East Coaster, West Coaster, or a toaster boaster,
A lot of
Can't
us
help you.
Wisconsinites, we like to call Wisconsin time, not Central Time. We call it America time.
America time.
America time, because most of the people that
Most of the
listen to us
people
being
in America time.
let's just do the upsets as far as
Browns
we
too.
can and then we'll touch on a few of the other games. Now, every NFL team, every college team that was in the top 15 had a tough game. Let's just not sugarcoat it. Every team struggled. There wasn't one team outside of Washington, every team struggled.
Yeah,
Struggle,
who
and I
beat
noticed
the
him struggle.
fuck out of a flailing Michigan State program right now.
Oh my god.
Hashtag prayers Michigan State.
I mean,
Hashtag
but
prayers Michigan State.
honestly, that Penix might be the front runner for the Heisman. So there is
Yeah,
that. The
yeah.
dude is between him and Caleb Williams right now, they're both just nuts. But we'll see once Big Ten play starts, once
Unless you live
Pac-12
around
play starts.
Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah. Let's not
yeah,
go to that one just yet.
no.
Michigan struggles with Bowling Green. The 5 turnovers did not help, but JJ should be back and ready to freaking
You know,
pound rock.
if he would
Of
have just it was weird. Watching JJ was weird, man.
course, just
Every throw that
forced.
should have had air had zip, and every zip throw or every throw
Two of
that
those
been zip had air. It just made no sense, man.
Well,
He was
2 he said
backwards.
2 of them he said he was trying to throw away, and he just
Yeah.
underthrew it. There's
Which
that.
again, too, is just ass backwards for him. I do obviously we expect a massive bounce back. I don't think anything realistically
He
is going to come from
you
this. It is
you
what it
know,
is.
he's got his coach back next week. The
Yeah.
king is back. The king has returned. Never beats tomorrow. Yeah, there's
Has
that, yeah.
returned. But anywho,
Yes.
yeah, it was when you go throw the ball out of bounds, man, you put it in the fucking stands. Who cares? Are you getting are there taxes on those balls? That
Right?
just don't understand that from all college quarterbacks right now. Listen, if you're throwing the ball away, put it in the stands. Who
The
cares? You
the only
do
thing that
you have
we've
some
learned
materialistic
yeah,
attachment to that fucking pigskin?
I think a lot of these college kids, this is what it is. They feel like they're better and they can always make a play. They're young, they're kids.
Yeah. The
It's
best
what it
play to
is.
make is the one that allows you to get to the next one. I think that's the best play in football. The one that lets you personally get to the next play, not sit down and watch the other plays occur.
But that
Wild.
you can say that about the NFL, and they do the same shit. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
hell yeah. The
and then
NFL, all of them learn it in college. You can bring it to the NFL. Give that motherfucker to a fan. Who cares? You ain't
so
paying for
here
that ball.
and here the next one is Florida State completely outplayed by Boston College. Just some mental errors, some penalties, come back and kick Boston College in the ass. They should have won that football game. They should have closed it out when they had the
Two
chance.
programs I'm
Man,
very yeah, two programs I'm very upset with in a reality that I should just applause their
understand, yeah.
effort, but I'm upset with their coaching staffs. Colorado State and Boston College coaching staffs, they lost those games for them young men. Them young men went out on that field and gave absolutely everything they could. And because of poor coaching, they
Oh,
lost those games.
the Colorado State one is the prevent defense never does anything but prevents you from winning the football game.
Well,
This is how
absolutely.
look how many times in the NFL players get
You,
the ball with other teams get the ball with what 1, 2 minutes left, and they just go right down the fucking field, just
yeah.
straight down the field. Prevent
How are
defense
you
does
even
not
in a
work.
defensive coordinator's position and you don't recognize this? Well, and two, you're not going to win a game when you give up 182 penalty yards.
Yeah, and a lot of that was like you said, bad coaching. The one where he hit Hunter on the sidelines,
Yeah.
absolutely pathetic, dude.
Just it
Like
made no sense. It made no sense.
keep
And
your head in the game.
to hear Coach Novell on the sideline question why the refs are throwing the flags. At one point, I thought to myself, the refs need to throw more to get this under control.
It
Bro,
was fucking nonsense.
don't
Like I
talk
said,
to
it was a
me.
circus. It was a
Don't, yeah,
circus.
don't talk to us. Don't talk to us about a rivalry game. Oh, Colorado State's a rival. Motherfucker, we are Michigan. We live in the greatest rivalry of all college sports, Michigan football versus little Ohio State.
Yeah, usually we always say the better team wins. Most of the time, I'll agree when the better team does win. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's you. If Ohio State is ranked number 1 and they end up blowing the doors off Michigan, they probably deserve to win that football game. But here,
Absolutely.
you guys are 27-point favorites, and you sit here and go because it was a rivalry game. Hey, here's the fact: they had 80 some freaking new players that had
Yeah.
never played in that fucking game before. That's not the same
That's
team, dude.
that's not a
Not the same
rivalry.
team.
That's
It's
not
not a
and
rivalry.
and shame on the fans. Oh my God, the camera, I was laughing so hard when Colorado was down. You would never believe, and credit to Coach Prime for creating this atmosphere. But you would have never believed they lost 11 fucking games last year. You would never believe they went 1-11
Not the same
watching
team though either. You know,
that
same
watching
team.
that crowd. That the looks on those faces, it was like, and then to rush the field after you barely beat a
Dude, they're
team
gonna
you
rush.
should have beat by over 23
But
points
see,
blows my mind.
that's all part of the hype train. They're every game they win, they're gonna fricking do that. Every
Well, they
time
got there's a
it's tw
storm coming
it's
and
twice in a
it's
row they've done
green
it.
and it's
Yeah.
green and quack, 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 quack,
They're only 20-point dogs.
quack,
Only.
quack.
Only.
Fucking the Oregon Ducks are going to
Only.
come in. And
Charles, do you think that you think not let's not get the conspiracy thing, but the way that it's gone the last few weeks, you really don't think they're gonna keep him in the football game?
no, I don't.
I bet you they do.
I
I
think
bet you they
this
don't let him
is
blow him out. I bet you they do not let him blow him out. They're gonna do they'll something's gonna happen. I have this
if
feeling in my head that they're
if
just
there is a sports god,
football,
if there is
sports god,
there's no way this will happen.
go
Reality
college,
must
Jesus,
the football Jesus must come down
football
and throw
Jesus.
his scripture down. All right. I'm telling you, like, reality must kick in. Shador Sanders is very good. Very good. But they did lose. They lost Hunter. They lost him for a few weeks. That's a whole bunch. They've got a bunch of young kids. The offensive line is horrible. Oregon's defense should just tee off. I'm thinking, oh boy's going to do over under
Maybe
350 push-ups. Over
I
under
don't. I
350
don't.
push-ups.
That's the thing. Oregon hasn't played anybody. They played some like FBS schools, not even like Division 1 schools. So are they even that good? I guess it's a question for
No, no,
people
but
more intelligent than us to
I
answer.
agree. I agree. I'm thinking in this reality now is that this is where the coaching does come into play. I think Oregon is a well-coached team, and I think Oregon will play as a well-coached team. I
All right.
absolutely think Colorado is going to score points, but I could see 40 to 23, fucking 48, 49, 49, 21. I see 49, 21, and I wouldn't be
All right.
surprised. I
I
wouldn't be
I
surprised at
I
49,
no,
21.
that's 49 or 42 to 21. And I was expecting them a late touchdown, the 42 to like 14, and
Yeah,
then they tack one on
absolutely.
late, a garbage
Yeah.
TD. That's exactly what I was thinking. So
But
I guess we'll jump out of that one.
you and Paul, before we jump out of this, I would absolutely love to bring up, you and Paul did chit chat on Facebook. I did notice your guys' talking about Coach Prime on the sidelines and who he is to those young men on those sidelines. And we have said some funny things on this show about the
Oh,
Colorado
we've
football
always
program.
bashed.
And we are talking in regards to the football program, but Coach Prime as a person is the dude. So
Yeah.
he's him, and the way he treats those young men and the way he,
It's
and I do stand corrected. This is not Miami of the 90s.
no,
These
this
young
isn't.
men have a GPA out the ass. They are fucking doing their thing. They are becoming better human beings. And I do feel bad for comparing them to the Miami of the 90s, but that's something I do. We don't have to be accurate all the time. We just have to be interesting. Colin Cowherd.
Absolutely. What
Hashtag fire
here's
Joe Barry.
here's the kicker. The kicker is I called it a circus and it got so many people pissed off on this college website. And the reason I called it a circus is because of all the freaking rappers, the movie stars, all these things on the sidelines. I said, this is what I said. Eventually they're going to take the attention away from the players on the field, and it's going to be all the attention what's going on off the field, not on the field. And it's going to take the attention away from the players who deserve it and all the fans that want to watch it. And people got butthurt. We don't. What about USC and Snoop and all them people? And I'm like, I don't fucking care, dude. If Michigan was bringing on people from the sidelines and letting them sit there, I'd be pissed off, dude. You're distracting the football team. Those people, put them people up behind the freaking football field and let them watch their team just like the fans do. They pay for the tickets. I think it's a distraction and it's bullshit. They shouldn't be on the field with the fucking players. Absolutely not. What if they're handing them money? You guys watching them 24/7? You know what I mean? Come on. Let's be realistic.
I
Gucci
agree.
Mane might be out there handing out chains and some ice. Let's just say that. He's dropping them off in the locker room. What do we know? We don't have
If
cameras. We
listen,
don't know what the fuck's
if
going on.
Jim fucking Harbaugh is getting in trouble for a fucking cheeseburger, something needs to be done about this. Because
Well,
you're
I don't
right.
know. There's no
I'm just
law.
saying
There's no
you can't.
rules against it. It's just I think
Oh,
it's petty and it's
absolutely. That
stupid.
actually the Miami football program in the 90s got in a whole bunch of trouble because of the gifts they were
Ye
accepting from older.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the player they're allowed coaches are allowed to invite ex-athletes or movie stars and people to be on the sidelines. It's not illegal to have them there. It's just to me, it seems
Oh yeah, no,
unethical.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Unethical.
No, that's why I was saying if Harbaugh is going to get in trouble for buying somebody a cheeseburger, you're having all of these people in on the sidelines. You can't
I
tell me gifts aren't being exchanged.
I don't wanna jump to conclusions. I think a lot of it is
Hey
just
man,
a
listen,
lot of
I
it is
just
just
walked the
part of
path
life.
that's paved in front of me, man. And as an entertainer, which is exactly what we are, it would not be fair to our listeners if we didn't bring this up.
You don't think that you think the McDonald's bags are being handed out? Is that what you
I'm
think?
just saying, from somebody who enjoys McDonald's often, not every one of those McDonald's bags looked like they had
So,
20-piece nuggets in them.
how does this work that Dion gifted all the players those sunglasses?
Yeah.
Is that not a gift? How does that work?
I was a little
I
jealous.
didn't even think
I
about that.
looked them up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna buy a pair. I am.
You know what? I if they
I buy them as soon as
I
my
told
school
my
check comes in.
Charles, I told my coworker, I said, "Man, if they do somehow, some way ball out and they beat Oregon, I'm gonna start itching right here where this tattoo might go because they might not have to win every game in the Pac-12 the way that college football is going. They could have one or two losses and still make the playoff."
Yeah, but they ain't making the national championship. That's all that
No,
matters.
we didn't say national. He said
Yeah.
playoff.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
In my mind, I heard national championship.
No, you
Yeah.
said they make the playoffs. I'll get a
They ain't
tattoo on
making the
my chest.
playoffs. Making the playoffs over
I don't know.
USC.
I'm just saying it's
Yeah, they
starting
ain't making the
if
playoffs
they
over
do, it's gonna
Oregon.
start itching an
Yeah.
awful lot right here
Yeah,
on the
well,
old
I'm gonna have
chest.
a massive fucking buffalo on my chest, so I
Both
doubt
of us, we both said we would. We're gonna have to go together and get these stupid tattoos.
Fuck, man. You know
It'd
what though?
be
If
one
it
hell of an
happens, I'm
episode.
sure somebody out in Colorado will pay for it. I ain't paying for it. Somebody out
Right.
there will pay for it, and I'll go get the motherfucker.
Yeah, we want if
But it ain't
Deion Sanders
happening.
better autograph that shit too if we're getting these tattoos
It
on our
ain't
chest.
happening.
Prime. I want prime right across mine. Just on the buffalo's ass, I want prime.
No, because I don't want them weirdos with that prime drink making money off us.
Prime drink. Does that have something to do with Dion or no? Is that just
Hell no,
no, it's
no,
just some
no.
athlete drink. I heard that shit's really bad for you. Like athletes are going against it. They're saying that shit like causes like heart attacks and shit.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's
It's
horrible. I don't,
KSI and fucking one of the Logan brothers made it. It's
oh
fucking
real? Oh really? See, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
It's horrible. It's banned in a whole bunch
I
of
thought
countries,
I thought
dude.
you were gonna say it's aspartame and freaking sugar or
No,
something.
man. It's banned in a bunch of countries. Yeah, yeah.
Oh no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like how the
as
United
soon as it
States is
shows
starting
up,
to get
it
it.
fucking runs off the shelf, dude. Old
Yeah.
lady, old lady at Walmart. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's there, and inside of fucking one workday, it's all gone.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, so
Somebody's over there getting lit as
oh, they're
fuck with
marketing
that stuff.
geniuses. Listen, if the fucking what are they, Logan or is it Paul?
It's
Jake
the
Paul,
Paul,
Logan.
the
Yeah,
Paul
Paul. Sorry,
brother Paul.
but anyways, the Paul brothers are fucking marketing geniuses. They really are.
Yeah.
In marketing, even with
Well,
us,
the
we
fact that
love our
fucker
listeners.
yeah.
We love our listeners, but we get way more feedback from the people who hate us.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So,
we
like,
always will.
absolutely. I tell everyone that. I'm like, how many times do you go and leave a good review after you've had a great meal? But how many
Yeah,
times are
true.
you on that motherfucker the moment the server isn't there when she needs to be? Right. So everything is like that. It is what it is.
We always
But
said this. We said this from the very beginning, Charles. If they fucking
thank
paid
you.
us, if they paid you and I, we would share the wealth. We would
I
be
voted
we
for
would
Joe Biden if you paid me.
yeah. Well, that's you're probably not even gonna get a chance to do that this year or next year. But here's the thing. Like I said, hey, if you guys pick us up and people, you guys start listening, start pick us up, man. Spotify, Apple, man. We told you we'd share the wealth. We'll have freaking contests. We'll bring our fans to freaking football games. We're gonna do all this cool
Which
shit
reminds all of our listeners, we will be tailgating this Sunday
at
at
Lambeau
Lambeau Field.
Field.
Lambeau Field. Fire Joe Barry. Lambeau
Fire Joe
Field.
Barry.
Fire Joe
Are you,
Barry.
Charles? Are you gonna make a sign? Have your old lady make you a sign.
Here's your
Like,
sign, Joe Barry.
no,
Oh,
yeah,
you mean an actual? Oh, sorry.
oh, I don't know. Actually, you know what? You start writing some questions now. That'll be not one of the questions. Have it be Joe Barry or who's the Packers' last defensive coordinator? They shit can't. Capers.
Don Capers.
Cap
Jesus
Ca
Christ. Yeah.
Capers or Joe Barry, and see if that starts like an
I'm really excited
argument.
for Green Bay football, regardless of what
Yeah.
happens. Are we going to get a good draft pick? Our
I don't know.
organization drafts well for the most part, outside of things like
That's
Kevin King over JJ Watt. Arguably, our organization does draft. We're not the
TJ.
Detroit Lions.
That's
Fire
the
Joe Barry.
thing. That's the thing, though. Are we really gonna be that butthurt about we expected this season to
No,
be like
absolutely not. Absolutely.
like
We've
I
already
said,
got one win. There's
hey,
what? Fucking, it's
we're
like
gonna we're good
14
enough.
games
Yeah,
left.
we're
We're
good
going to get
enough
a
to
few more wins.
yeah, we're good enough to compete with the teams that we should beat and have
Yep.
at least we're gonna be in those games. There's gonna be some games where we're gonna completely get our ass kicked.
Here's
Come on,
the thing,
let's
too.
be honest.
Every
Yeah,
fucking team in the NFC North lost this week. So it's not
exactly.
like
Yeah,
we lost ground on the fucking end. We don't need to win 15 games with the way the NFC North looks. We might
right.
only have to win 9.
And hey, not to me, that freaking Atlanta team can run the football.
Oh
Bijan
yeah,
Robinson is a
absolutely.
fucking monster.
Absolutely.
That dude is gonna be a Hall of Famer
And if
someday.
anybody else would have been
Take it
running
to the
that
bank.
defense, Atlanta's got a few former defensive assistants. One in particular, God, I wish I could remember his name, but there we had an interesting conversation prior to or last season about the defense, and they were asked how in Joe Barry's scheme, was it a DB or a linebacker, can be efficient or can get after the quarterback efficiently? How is this
Yeah,
possible? And the dude was like, listen, this is Joe Barry's scheme. You need to ask him because it isn't possible. You can't do it. His defense is just waiting for a player to make a play, and I'm fucking sick of it. Because what happens then in scenarios when that player doesn't make the play he should, because we're dealing with humans and that does happen. Caper, or here I am talking about Capers, and it's really Barry because they're the same fucking person. But Barry doesn't put them in a situation that allows them to become better. You got to put these kids in the situation to make the plays, not wait for them to make a play in your situation. Fuck, fire Joe Barry. Sorry, where were
hashtag.
we?
Speed scrolling at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a running gag. It is what it is. If they somehow improve, but like you said, the scheme hasn't changed. So why would we expect the rest of it to change? Honestly, it's
Yeah,
not going to.
I don't. I really don't. We'll run through AP poll here. I do want to break through the
Well,
20. So
hold on. We got to talk
yeah.
about one more game.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's talk about Graham Mertz freaking beating Tennessee with Joe Milton at quarterback. And then at the end of the game, he takes the knee, and Joe Milton is out there and he's ready to square up with the defensive guy from Florida. Talk
Yeah.
about weird. Everybody's talking about this. Like, dude didn't want none of that heat. He said,
No.
"No, I don't want none of this
No.
shit." The dude was like 330 pounds, 6'7".
And
Like,
threw up his hands like he was trying out for the movie Expendables 4 coming out September 22nd. Super excited about that. But
yeah,
yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you want to do this. Those hands went up quick. Oh boy, you don't fuck with old boy from Florida. If you know anything about Florida football at all, Aaron Hernandez, Urban Meyer, you do not fuck with Florida anywho. So I'm not sure what old boy at Tennessee was thinking. It's a small reminder every once in a while that we are dealing with young men
yeah,
coming from situations that at times is unimaginable for what other people say, you and I. But
right.
yeah, it was effing hilarious. Foof. And his stance too. I wasn't upset with his stance.
No, it was
Unlike
just
unlike the scenario in MLB earlier this year with Anderson and Ramirez.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Anderson doesn't want to get caught in a fucking back alley with that boy from Florida
no,
either.
no,
Yeah, just a crazy world. Crazy world. The top
yeah,
11 teams don't have a loss.
no.
The only difference in the top 3 actually now, Texas is now number 3. and Florida
Right.
State is now number 4
And
due
and
to
I
the
can
Boston College fiasco, and
I
I can get
I
on
can
board with that.
agree. I can agree. The only team that I think is not getting any love, and that's Washington. Man, what they did to Michigan State coming in there, dude, it was like 41 to zip. Like
It
they
was
didn't
so
even let
bad.
Michigan State have a chance. And people were like, "Oh, they were picking Michigan State to lose or to win that game."
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting
Quite
me?
a few people were picking Michigan State.
And then to see what they did to them, come on, man.
It's
All
crazy.
right,
So
whatever.
you
Yeah.
got Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Texas number 3, Florida number 4. Okay. And then USC Trojans number 5. That's the top 5. I don't have an issue with that. With the way everybody
No.
played, there's a chance Michigan can play like they did later on in the season in week 2. So I agree they should be number 2. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now, but I do love how much the Big Ten is in the top 10 because
Right.
then the next 5, you've got Ohio State, Penn State, Washington, Notre Dame, and Oregon. Now,
Yeah.
this week, we've got a great game. Ohio State, Notre Dame. That is going to be a fantastic football game to watch.
Hopefully Notre Dame can get their fucking defense straightened around though, because as of right now, Ohio State looks like they're gonna blow the shit off their doors. Not to be mean, but from what I saw from Ohio
Notre
State
Dame,
starting to get that offense
yeah,
running.
yeah. And if Notre Dame can go up in the first half and manage the second half, I think they'll be fine. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if their defense does not,
Slow
oh
them
yeah,
down. Yeah.
Notre Dame might be finding themselves around where Tennessee is at right now.
Yeah.
And
Ah,
I because
man, I just
their leash is very small,
yeah.
very small. And then Oregon coming in at number 10. So Colorado dropped to 19.
Yeah.
And in the next 3 weeks, they play Oregon and USC. So they play the number 10 team country, number 5 team in the country. We will
I know
know
real
we
quick.
will know who Colorado is in 4 weeks. Our show
Oh,
in 4 weeks will either have many minutes or not so many minutes. So,
yeah, it'll be a quick rundown. Quick,
yeah.
we'll just do a quick recap. If it's a big ass kicking, it's not like it's not expected. They weren't expected to win these games, so we're not going to be butthurt if they get blown out. But I don't want to see people like really. Oh, we told y'all. Come on, just let the kids play. If they compete, I'll give them all their props. If they can compete with them,
Pat ourselves
yeah.
on the back for knowing what reality told us. But we don't have to be the big sheep in the background crying because there's too much grass around us.
You know what I really don't like though? Like I'm not racist one fucking iota. The fact that people are trying to turn this into a race thing if you ever see the comments, it's because it's a black coach. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
man, don't be
And
playing that
there is too
hard.
like that shit that went
Let's
down
not.
with the Minnesota player there too, how he
Yeah,
received all that hate on Instagram. It led me to ask myself too, because in the beginning, I don't run into a lot of racism.
no, and I don't want
No
to be part
shit,
of it.
eh? Look at the elephant in the room. Okay. But what I mean by that is hashtag fire Joe Barry. I saw that. Nice. But what I mean by that is I don't see it when I go out to either. Now, I
No,
don't
we
find
don't.
myself in these areas where they are. And I don't try to put myself in any shoes here. I'm not sitting here walking goddamn Jesus' sandals here. But every time I hear about it, I'm like, what the fuck? How is this still happening? How
Right.
can you sit next to somebody who is just a legitimate douchebag and enjoy that person's company without looking at him and going, bro, I'm not, or sis, or whatever the fuck you are, enough being a douchebag. Just stop being a douchebag.
That's what there is. There's a lot of them. I mean,
It makes no sense.
as I
What
said,
the
man.
fuck do you get? And again, too, though, like we could roll off on this because in my mind, I can't grasp the reality of racism because it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know how somebody could
Well,
do
and there wasn't a lot going on in baseball, and the fact the Brewers are still like 6 games up, man. They're still rolling.
Dude,
All
I'm
right, Brew
loving
Crew.
watching Brewers baseball right now. And I've been
What?
hearing a lot of people say, is this the golden age of Brewers baseball? Right now, it is. 10 years from now, do we look back and think, man, that was a fucking streak? Who knows? But enjoy what we're getting right now. Yeah, it is
We'll
fucking
see.
phenomenal, man.
They might end up running into a buzzsaw when they get to the playoffs, though. Atlanta is nobody to fuck with, and neither are the
No.
Dodgers.
So the biggest jump in the AP poll was 3 spots, and from 11 to 20, you had a whole bunch of 3 spotters. And there's
Yeah,
actually no change from 9 to 1. Well, Texas and Florida is the only change from 9 to 1. The biggest drop or up on the board, though, is Tennessee. They dropped
Tennessee.
12 spots to number 23. And I think that's it for the orange, to be honest with you. I think we've seen as much as we're going to see from those orange teams, including Clemson. Are they going to be in it? No. Are they
No,
going to be in the top 25 to 15? Yes. And I think that's who they are until another Trevor Lawrence shows up or another Hendon Hooker shows up. That's how those
we'll
stories go.
see. We'll
So as
see,
soon as
though.
one
I
of those
mean,
states produce another godlike child,
Clemson still has an opportunity to redeem themselves this year if they beat Florida State.
I agree with you, but I think beating Florida State in that scenario, all that does for
'Cause
Clemson,
they can win out other than that.
but the other teams that are there are going to have a better resume than a one-loss Clemson.
But
Even if they beat
Texas has to play freaking they're gonna end up losing.
No,
They
I
gotta play
agree.
Kansas. I
But
mean, the Kansas State,
if
man.
you're on the
Kansas State.
board, do you put in fucking Clemson over Ohio State? Do you put in Clemson over Michigan?
Depends. Is Ohio State gonna beat Notre Dame? If what if this happens? What if Ohio State loses to Penn State and to Michigan? Notre Dame loses to Ohio State and to USC. USC loses to 2 teams, and there's 3 2-loss teams that
Do
should
you
be in
hear
it.
what
Who do you
you do
put
you
in?
hear what you're saying? Dude, you just went off
Yeah.
on a 45-second what if to put Clemson back on top. Hell
I'm not
no.
s Hey,
Clemson
those
ain't going. No, no,
those are
no, no,
all
no.
potential
No, no. Orange is
possibilities.
done. Orange is done. I
What about
can't.
Texas?
Orange
What about
is done.
Texas?
Oh, I forget Texas is orange. I
Well,
forget
they're
Texas is orange.
technically Texas was like burnt orange or whatever.
Yeah, it's like burnt orange.
Semantics,
I do
whatever.
forget.
Yeah.
I like the color orange. We're coming up on October.
Yeah.
Orange is fun. Halloween. Trick or treat.
Woo!
Smell my feet. Give me something good
Bats,
to eat.
bats and shit.
Bats.
Yeah,
Fucking
lots
bats
of
are our
cool things.
friends. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, there's way too many. Clemson is. I would see Colorado going in before Clemson's loss was just too bad.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
getting a
I mean,
tattoo on my chest before
what
Clemson gets back in on this motherfucker.
what if Colorado faces Clemson in a bowl game? What if
I could see that.
Colorado finishes they have 3 losses. Like let's say they lose to Washington, USC, and then Clemson loses to Florida State, and they're like 11-2 or 10-2, and they meet each other at a bowl game. I would watch the shit out of that bowl game because I bet you Colorado will put up some friggin' points on
Oh
them.
yeah. The thing is that Shador Sanders is good enough. And I
Yeah,
hate to say it that way because I think he's
dude,
better, but he's a top 5 Heisman. He's a top 5 Heisman candidate right now.
dude,
A
he
top
what
5 Heisman candidate's going to put points on the board.
I chuckled a little bit when he said he was he, he stirred up his inner Brady and he brought his Brady out but he did what he did at the end of the game, like that 50 seconds to go, and he drove his team down there. Granted, like I said, they should have been playing prevent defense, but he did absolutely everything. He made every
I
throw
listen.
and did
I'll
everything he
call him
needed
Kirk
to do.
Cousins for now. I'll call him Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins for now. There ain't no way I'm walking in on the Brady scenario, and I do agree with you. What he did was
Oh,
magical.
Brady never did that in college.
No,
That was
but Kirky
NFL
did.
type in.
Kirky did. And last year, the Minnesota Vikings were 11-0 in one-score games, and Kirky had quite a few game-winning drives.
Kirk.
We all remember Kirky's chains on that plane. He was him until he reverted back to the old him, which is
that's
the
just
one
weird.
we all know who he is.
Yeah, the fact his wife dresses him, I think that's just weird to me. I'll never get over that. Like when Paul said that, I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, his wife dresses him. What kind of clothes? He's, I'll like fucking go to your kindergarten or grade school fucking dance.
We
I don't
can
know.
something else too. Green Bay did lose that game, by the way, as much as Atlanta.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Jordan
sure.
Love did miss Romeo Dobbs wide open at the beginning of the third fucking quarter
Well,
for a touchdown that would have sealed.
like I said, they that one. How about Jordan? You said Jordan Love didn't make any mistakes. He made one mistake on that
Oh
fourth
yeah.
down where he like looked like he drunk fell over his fucking
Oh
friends
yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
bar.
Yeah, no,
The fuck was
and
that? Like,
between that and there was a couple overthrows, absolutely. But my point with that though, with the Jordan Love not making mistakes, is that Jordan Love wasn't making the mistakes he was supposed to make. We're expecting overthrows. We're expecting missed reads. What we don't want to see is interceptions and fumbles and broken fucking plays, and we're not getting those.
can we break that down? Can we get that video though and break that down? What the fuck happened on that play
We'll
where
have to, yeah,
he
we'll have to.
fucking like
We'll
drunk
start.
fucking stumbled over his the ball wasn't even snapped, Charles. What
I
the fuck
know.
was
We're
that?
god dang lucky it wasn't snapped. We're
It,
lucky fucking old
and
boy held on to the
here
ball.
here's the thing. He didn't even like step on anybody's foot. He won't say what happened. Like
Yeah.
apparently he was asked and he just like smirks at it. I think he just it's took a weird step or something.
I'm excited to see him next year. I'm
We'll
excited
see.
for football
I mean,
this year, but I'm
he's gonna
really
get
excited to see him
he's gonna
next
get
year
better. It's
because
just
he's learned everything he can without playing at the speed of football.
right.
And the speed of football is
Yeah.
heavy.
Let's just
S-
hope that he stays healthy.
For
That's the
all of
best we can
our
hope for.
non-sports fans out there, by
And
the
by
way,
the way,
who
you were correct when you said that Green Bay had a top 10 offensive line last year. They were number 8
yeah. Yeah, our offensive line has been really good.
when Bakhtiari plays.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna see him on anything less than our grass. If it's artificial
Hey,
turf this year, we're
you guys
not gonna see him. He
and
is
by
going
the
to
way,
have a knee issue every artificial turf game.
everybody you can bash him all you want. The dude's taking a stand. And hey, guess what? You as fans wanted him to play there and you as a team wanted him to play there. And by the way, this isn't Bakhtiari has been doing this for years. This isn't something new.
No,
This is
no.
not he did this last year too.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
he
This
told them, "I'm not playing on that shit." And
yep.
guess what? I got butthurt about it a little bit, but then when I read into it, the fact that he's really been staunch on this, like he's literally put up a fight. He said, "Fuck
Very,
that. I'm
very
not playing
active.
on it. I don't want to get
Every
hurt."
week. It'll be 20 minutes before game time. If something happens, he's on X letting the people know this fucked
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
I
that's
appreciate him.
fine. I love him. I
Yeah,
love him. I wish he'd come up.
as a football armchair analyst, there are lots of things that he does that pisses me off.
Right.
But
I
him as
wish
a
he
person, yeah, absolutely.
and Matt said that if he's going to the Packer game, if Matt says if he sees us, he'll stop by the podcast booth and hang out with us and say hello. So
That's cool.
we'll see. Yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
be nice to have another Packer voice around the old microphone.
100% of the time. Damn straight. Damn straight. Oh, anywho, for all of our non-sports fan listeners out there, we are wrapping up on some chatty Cathy time here. We have a filler episode coming up soon. We're just loading that up on the notepad. We want to make sure that's real nice for you guys. Thank you so much. But sports season to us is unity. But it's hard for us not to talk about anything other than what we've grown up hugging our entire lives, like a little warm blanket. That same feeling you get when you receive a smile you didn't realize you needed from somebody who went out looking for a smile they wanted, but knowing the fastest way to receive a smile is to first smile. That's a whole bunch of smiles.
Have you also seen these? They sell these over at fanatics.com.
The fanatics.com, which I would love to tell you about their special right now, but as this recording isn't live, they do have a crazy 30% off special that's lasting when you go to the website. I'm guessing the sports timer will click, but hurry, the offer ends in 4 hours, 55 minutes, 30% off over $75, 25% off, no minimum, fanatics.com. And let me tell you what, too, I was watching the Formula One race in Singapore.
Yeah.
Was it Saturday morning or
Just
Sunday
Red
morning?
Bull and Fanatics everywhere or what?
Holy shite, bro. There was
They
Fanatics
own it.
bags all
Yeah.
over Singapore. Every camera angle had a Fanatics bag. Somebody walking with a Fanatics something in there. It was really cool to see.
Nice.
I'm excited for the Red Bull gear to come up. Me and Hunter were actually discussing. I didn't realize Hunter was into that F1, so that'll be interesting to get him on to do a little F1 chat.
Yeah.
Him and I both know about the same. Absolutely shit. So
Not but no, our buddy Clint wants to come back on too, and he wants to bring up some motocross racing as well. So we need to get back into that.
ooh, I love yes, yes. So Clint, God, I hope
I hit it early.
that's fine. I was just saying, I hope he does it. I hope he's doing great.
Well,
Oh, Clinty.
glad.
So no, I'm done.
Oh, you're good.